All right. This is gonna be more of a one-shot stream. Not a typical chill stream. We're gonna be reading The Black Iron Prison, which has many authors, being a Discordian text. Discordians don't like to believe in authorship. They like to do things in groups, so... I mean, you could tell whoever wrote the first chapter, like when they come back and they start using their rhetoric, which I'm gonna point out once we start here, is rhetoric of so you think you know, so you thought you knew, but now you know that you don't know. Yeah. Which is it could be a useful rhetoric, but I mean, after years of being, what's it called, red pilled, or having your third eye open, after enough years of that, it's really not useful, not for me, and typically it's annoying. Hey, what's up, Anthol? Welcome. So yeah, we're gonna read today. It's not gonna be a super long stream. I might end it and then come back for a chill stream, but we'll see. I got my coffee. I don't have any pod ready. Damn it. End the stream. I give up. No pod. I give up. No. I guess we'll just wait for people to come in here. I've been meaning to do this for a while, but yesterday I was listening to Harassment Architecture with Perry. He was going through the audiobook, and I'd never read Harassment Architecture. I've known Mike Ma since I got on Twitter in 2018. It seems he was already an OG by that point. His book came out before BAM. So before BAM, yeah, that was the right-wing book. And judging by the chapters I heard yesterday, I know that book by osmosis, just by watching apparent fans of it, you know, tweet about it, make threads about it. A lot of the cultural commentary is pretty familiar, and the strain of it, you know, the kind of like the vitriol to the mundane or the normal, which at some point and for somebody is probably very useful. But I don't think most people need to hear that honest work isn't good, or that honest work isn't real. I don't believe in honest work. I believe in going and killing politicians. Whoa, that's what you should do. Hey, what's up, Cheyenne? Welcome. And you know, there's many ways to red pill yourself. I always opt for the ones that kind of like give you hope, even if it is absurd hope, which is one thing I kind of like about, or that I used to like about, Discordianism. It's never like a black pilling thing to read. The Discordian text is very open-ended. It's very fun, or it can be fun. It can be inspirational, especially because it lets you have inklings of a way out, and one that's not so in your face as Fed posting. I don't believe in hard work. I believe in committing crimes and Fed posting. I mean, don't get me wrong, the gusto of that kind of stuff, the spirit is very useful, or it was useful maybe back in a less red pill time. You probably need something a bit more thought out, a little bit more clever than destruction, just plain out saying, you need to commit crimes because working hard is for the plebs. I would say we could have probably used something different when that came out too, but the book already came out, is already implanted in right-wing culture. The cool thing about culture is that it's in real time. It's malleable. We're here to malleable. I don't know. We're here to do things. Working hard is gay. What, are you working hard or something? What, are you fucking trying or something? I'm sure that like Mike's book, if it like got to the next American Caesar, if it got to like the next American Cortez, or then it'd be perfect. It'd be like, oh shit, that's who needed to read that. But most people aren't in the position to be the next Cortez or Napoleon or whatever, and really they're just miring themselves in negativity and what kind of amounts to prose. When I was listening to Harassment Architecture, to Mike Ma's book, it was like very hypnotic. He kept repeating certain phrases like hard work is for the idiotic. It was very mind rapey almost. And if I was in a bad place, I don't know if I would want to. I don't know if that would motivate me, to be honest. But of course, everything in it is true. It's just that the style of it, the heart of it was a bit too harsh. Though in this time, it was very needed. 2017, 2018. Something a man does your heart for? Wait, hold on. You're talking about being hard at work? Why the fuck are you fucking hard at work? You should be soft. You should be fucking soft and tiny down there. Why are you fucking being hard? I won't overanalyze. Most of it just a man venting his pain. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Just when it gets into the form of a book, you know. Well, you can't really worry about other people's interpretations, you know. But you know, it is kind of alarming to me when I was hearing the book. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I don't know if I would put that out in that way. It kind of riles you up a bit too much. It kind of like incites you in a way that I don't think is very useful. Hard work is good. I think for most people to have a stable, quiet, and reliable job that gets them through until the grave, that's good. Yeah, sure, it'd be better to be like fucking a superhero and destroy it all. That's probably not gonna happen. And if you try to do that, you're just gonna die. You're gonna die. And you're gonna have a whole country and a whole future looking at you as a terrorist. Well, that's not really the big problem. The big problem is dying. Big problem is having the ATF come after you because you wanna do what Mike Ma told you to do. So a guy analyzed Bap, Costin, Alamaru, and the two books. He's trying to be Socrates by planting chaos energy into the young. Is that what Socrates was trying to do? I know that's what Bap's trying to do, which I do like. Anybody who's trying to keep the fire going and keep the trickstery spirit of chaos going, I'm all for. But speaking of chaos, we have this wonderful Discordian text we're going to start off with right now. And I can't say exactly if Mike Ma or Bap have read Discordian text. I'm sure being online, as long as they are, they know about it. It'd be hard not to. But I think there'll be some things here that'll ring true to you. It's not gonna, the stuff here is not gonna be stuff that's gonna convince you to something new. It's gonna be some old friends, some old ideas. Hey, what's up, Perry? How you doing, my brother? Speaking of Perry, yes, you have inspired me to do my own book club. If anything, this might start a book club streaming wave. Just fucking go. But yes, there might be an audiobook of this, but I feel like it'd be better to read it to you and take you along with it, because it's not all, of course, it's not all good, so you're gonna have to explain a few things. People forget philosophers were prosecuted after Criterius died. Well, I don't know Greek history too well, but if we could have done that to 18th century philosophers, that would have been cool. I'm just kidding. Hey, what's up, Surgery? How you doing, my band? My band. You are a band of people. Welcome back. Did your account get banned by YouTube as well? We had one of our friends have some problems with his account and comments not showing up in chat. It's very weird. Hide you from all the horny white girls. Well, they won't find you here. You're safe here. Hey, come on. Come on, doggos, we're gonna read Discordian literature. Oh, they literally sent you an email for hate speech? That sucks. Fuck you too, man. All you dead philosophers, I will eat you if you disturb this chat. You hear that, Kant? You hear that, Tocqueville? Stay the fuck back. Cabbage, no. We live in such a clown world, and I can see the nihilist point of view often, but that kind of feeds into my ego, archetypical nature. Probably not the most healthy, but does feel good. It's very good to know yourself. But yeah, if you're feeding that part of you, it's not gonna. Yeah, feeding the nihilist or the unnihilist part of you, it's probably not gonna lead to a too peaceful. Jesus, what's wrong with my words? It's probably not gonna lead to a peaceful existence. Forgot how wild some of harassment architecture was. Definitely breaking TOS. Yeah, the part about going down to Brazil and committing crimes was a bit heavy. You'll be fine though, probably. The cabbage statement was directed at Kant. Oh, okay. I bet he does smell like something gross. Anyways. Got our table of contents. Welcome to prison. Two-Man Khan, who wrote this. What the hell are you doing? Let's go. Oop. Oh yeah, I'm reading this on the Principia Discordia website. You can also read the original Principia Discordia, which is kind of lame. Kind of unfunny, hippie, like 70s hippie. Like I wouldn't say anti-Christianity, but like poking fun at religion, which is what Discordianism does in a way. But it's kind of hacky. I would say read it for historical purposes, but you could, anything in there worth knowing is already extrapolated. You could download them. But you don't have to download a PDF that you don't trust. You could read the book on the website. You get PDF, whatever. Next page. Alright, let's get started. I'm gonna lower the music here a bit. All I do is porn site reviews. This suits my intellectual side. They nuked N hentai. Yeah, I saw you posting about that. Yeah, I saw you posting about that after you'd said good night in chat. Then go on Twitter later, and then Midas is having a breakdown about N hentai being closed. You didn't go to sleep, you went to Goon, motherfucker. And hentai. This is the end. Oh no. I thought we lived in America. Donald Trump will bring back N hentai. He's gonna make hentai boobies legal again. Sorry, I'm stalled. Hey kid, welcome to prison. You think you just woke up here one day, right? Think again. It was your whole life that brought you to this. Fact is, you were born to be here. Go ahead, look around. I'll be here when you get back. Yeah, this intro and this style of writing, whoever wrote this and other chapters like it, is a bit up their own ass, and the prose changes because there are several authors, but I might skip around this one because it's kind of like, sure, this kind of rhetoric was useful for me when I was like 17 or 16 when I first read it. Anyways, looks smaller than it is, don't it? Oh, sometimes it doesn't even feel all that bad, but still, you look through those bars and you see all that you're missing. Hopes, dreams, what could have been here. Look up. Here you put your palms up to the black iron, grab the bars, let me show you something. Feel that? That's all the books you've read. And the entire wall over there is your adolescence. Look up. It's your CD collection. The floor you woke up on, your parents. Like I said, you were born to be here. It's your life. It's the cold trap of your own existence. You painted yourself to a corner. So now you're wondering why you feel trapped here in your own life. Why now? Why today? Can you see the bars of a black iron prison that you made for yourself? Because you stopped reacting and taken a couple of steps forward. Oh, and took a couple of steps forward. You thought you could do what you wanted, you tried to be self-reliant, and bang, you smacked your head against the wall. What's that? Yeah, that's when the claustrophobia, not claustrophobia. 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 Claustrophobia, there we go. When you didn't know you were trapped, everything was fine, but now that you know, you can see your entire tired, weird, monotonous life stretched out before you. Blah 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 blah. Look around. Yeah. If you're interested, I'd like to invite you on a jailbreak. Anyways. So I was on the move again, had a few days of traveling to do. A friend had just got back from Hong Kong and was going to be in London for a few days before jetting off again. Jammy git. As there was no one else on the train, I turned the radio on and decided to listen to a talk show. On this particular program, they had two opposing politicians in, debating the then upcoming election. I listened for a while I was wishing I could get a decent station or had brought a couple of CDs. The debate was boring, and was essentially becoming a right-left conflict. Give up your social freedom for more economic freedom, or give up your economic freedom for your social ones. Damn, that was stupid. I found myself thinking, jeez. So basically, I have to give it up. Yes, let me my glass. That was so stupid. Whoa. So basically, I had to give up some sort of freedom in order to gain another. Looking closely, there wasn't even that much of a choice. To take benefit of the economic free market of the right means you have to have the money in the first place. And on the left, without economic freedom, social freedom was nothing, as money is a large part of the social structure. Yeah, I think this book and Discordian literature. So one of the first times I faced a well thought out version of, well, the left too. It wasn't just like attacking the right or how stupid the right was. There's also a critique on the other side, which to me was something I hadn't really seen a lot, you know. I used to watch The Daily Show and fucking The Colbert Report and all that stuff, thinking it wasn't biased, but it was. So was there really a choice? To be sure, there are some differences, certainly among the personalities involved, but the basic philosophy was the same. Almost all our current politicians come from the Oxbridge elite, those lucky few without enough connections or cash to get into those two universities. This is pretty much the same for the leadership of both parties, whether right wing or left wing. And either way, it basically benefits them, as they are richer than their constituents who they supposedly represent. It's a two-man con, or rather a two-ideology con. They This they, presumably being they who are everyone knows, and quite possibly make up the community, whoever the hell they are. They say that you can't con an honest man, often to make themselves feel superior to some poor schmuck who just lost a lot on what seemed a fair gamble. However, you can con an honest man if you do it with two men. Make them look like opposing teams, like a thief getting caught at a jeweler's and a copper taking the stolen goods as evidence. But in reality, they are both working ultimately for their own benefits. That's the way politicians keep conning the public. We get the same old guard year after year, being moved by their party from safe seat to safe seat. That's modern politics. Keep voting yourself, pay raises, and make sure there aren't equal taxes applied to the rich. And people wonder why fringe parties and apathy are on the rise. Hey, what's up, Hognimal? How you doing, man? Welcome everybody. Goon all day. I just wanted to watch him. Thank you. I could listen to Poma ASMR read typos all day. Thank you. Yeah, there are parts where they should have included some quotation marks so it comes out like a phrase. But overall, it's coming out fine. Is this Minecraft? Almost, maybe by the end of it. This is Ray Romano teaching us all about online ninjutsu. I've been called Ray Romano by some of my family. You know, I can kind of see it. I haven't even seen that much of that show to accurately portray a whiny Italian man. But I guess the way that you would do it is like this. The Black Iron Prison is a good text, Martha. Your job is to try and fail in making Pomod break character as a leader. Does he get us to do some ritual at the end? Nope. No rituals here. And I've always been too lazy and I guess discerning enough to not do any ritual, not even for chaos magic or Discordianism, which is pretty lightweight, meaningless stuff, but still no. You gotta make sure I'm based. Might need some water in place of this coffee. Realistically, I should have not smoked though. Here we go. Chapter 3. Who wrote this? We have no illusions about how far a piece of writing can reach. Sending out new ideas into this world without a multi-million-dollar marketing scheme have about as good of a chance at reaching their destination as a paper airplane in a hurricane. But we take our chances. For the most part, the people that put this document together agree that the planet that we live on has become a foul place, and we agree that something needs to be done. But we disagree on damn near everything else. We disagree on how it has come to this mess, and we disagree on the direction it is all heading to. But what we have observed is that the more people are able to think for themselves, the less willing they become to exhaust themselves at someone else's command. An open-minded person is better able to see past the illusions that have this civilization headed toward what seems to be a fiery demise, and may even do something about it. We acknowledge that it would be in everybody's best interest if they were more creative and critical thinkers analyzing the situation and broadcasting their observations. Where this will take us, we don't know. But we have come to a situation where it seems that any chance would be a good change, any change. The history of the entire known universe and a long legacy of philosophical and scientific exploration has resulted in the effort to get you to do some critical thinking. And you turn it down, you're gonna get left behind. If you turn it down, you gotta catch up on your own because no one else is turning back to save you. So true. It's a pretty short read. Yeah, this page is this long. Yeah, it's not a large book by any means. What the hell are you doing? Written in the spirit by the good Reverend Roger. This isn't the latest reality TV show. This isn't the cool new electronic trinket. It isn't a ringtone. So why the hell are you messing with it? You better put it down before someone sees you. You might get in trouble or worse. You might even look stupid and uncool. Listen, genius, the powers that be work very hard to ensure that you have all the information and entertainment that they think you need. And this is how you thank them? By reading some subversive flyer that probably was left here by some American-hating freak? Huh? Well, that's gratitude for you. Shouldn't you just put this down and go turn on the television? You're probably missing something that you can't live without. What's gonna happen during your 20-minute lunch break when everybody's talking about American Idol and you missed it? What then? Wow, this is kinda old. You'll be a pariah. Your coworkers will laugh at you behind your back and you'll be off the team. Good luck with the next promotion bubble. So look, just put this down quick before anyone notices you reading it, and we'll pretend this never happened, okay? Now get back to work and pay attention to what you're supposed to be doing, or kill me. What the hell are you reading? A lot of us don't really have it in us to go to great lengths to disguise the message anymore. Some of us can string together some loose metaphors, but for many, at this point, it's just not worth the effort to dress things up, or the risk that they might not understand the point that we're trying to make. The time has come for people to start thinking for themselves. Towing other people's lines and doing other people's bidding has not worked so far. In fact, it's getting hard to avoid noticing just how messy this place has become, and the situation seems urgent for us not to hold back. We want people to think for themselves. And we deliver this message with good intention, with no good intention to the way things are currently being done on this planet. We don't want nothing else. We don't want memberships, and we don't want telephone numbers. We don't want our audience's undivided attention, and we won't make moves on your girl. We don't want our audience to sell things. We don't want them to attend our meetings. There's nothing to memorize, and we don't need anybody to take an oath. It has come to our attention that not many people really know what it means to look after themselves on the planet in the year 07. Wow, that's when this came in. Call it a support group for free-minded impaired. Black sheep are still sheep. I could read Who Destroyed and Hentai. That's gonna be the next chapter. Retroactively added. I wrote this 12 years ago. Alright, I really need some water right now. Hold on. I'm fucking all mucked up here. Hey, what's up, Chemo? How you doing, buddy? Welcome. Little snottery, book club snottery. Sorry. A touch of the con. Haven't you had enough yet? Are you getting sick of it all? You should be. Sickness is your way of life. Take this pill, do this job. But we won't get you enough time to cook, so eat this pre-made meal. What the fuck? Yeah, we literally heard that in the book yesterday. That was in Mike Moss' book the other day. Not saying he stole it. He was probably in touch with this literature in some way. It's not like it's a totally far out concept, but I think this might be the guy who wrote the first chapter. I might need to skip around here. Yeah, we get it. What's the word? Pedantic? I don't know the style of like, what, you think that's how it was? Think again. Which I get that. I get the feeling, I get the... What's the word I always use? The... Vicious? No, not vicious. I get the gut feeling of that, being like, well, how could you be so dumb? How could you believe that? Especially because that was me, like 5 or 10 or so years ago. Like, why can't you guys see this? Why are you stupid? I'm at a pretty zen point right now where people will find out things they need to find out as they need to. If they don't, that's alright too. Because there is such thing as forbidden knowledge, and it's not forbidden because, you know, it's meant to keep you away. It's forbidden because it's gonna like fuck you up. It's not gonna be helpful to your brain, to your life to know that. It's just inhibiting you. Anyways, eat this, whatever, blah blah. This one might need a lot of skipping. There's too much of everything nowadays. Everything that in a special way is nothing. Keeping up with the neighbors, blah blah blah. Yeah, anyways, skip this one. When it comes to Discordian literature, 'cause I don't know, I don't know. The style of like, what, you think that's how it was? Think again. Which I get that. I get the feeling, I get the gut feeling of that. Being like, well, how could you be so dumb? How could you believe that? Especially because that was me, like 5 or 10 or so years ago. When it comes to Discordian literature, Do not be afraid to skip something that sounds retarded. The Parable of the Gong. There was once a young Discordian named Goldenrod. Oh, yeah, this is a good one, actually. This is a good one. It comes in like 2 parts. Early in his illumination, he wondered what season his country was in. Perhaps it was the season of discord on the cusp of bureaucracy. Bureaucracy. Surely order was rising to noxious levels. This ties into the Discordian renaming of the seasons from Discord. They're now Discord, bureaucracy, order, and some 4th thing. So in his quest for an answer, Goldenrod sought out the Discordian monk No Pants. No Pants dwelled in a basement because it would be obscene for him to go outside. Goldenrod freed himself from his leggings and descended the stairs. Below, No Pants sat on a cushion in a gross lotus position. My wise friend No Pants, I have come to ask you a question. What is bureaucracy? In India, said No Pants, they tie elephants to trees using thin cords. An elephant could easily snap the cord, yet they remain tethered in place. Why do you think this is? Goldenrod itched himself and shrugged. When the elephant is young, said No Pants, she is too weak to break the cord. She tries, but eventually she gives up. When the elephant shows up, she does not try to escape her puny bonds because she believes she will fail. So the cord isn't the thing keeping the elephant in place. That's very interesting. But what does that have to do with bureaucracy? Bureaucracy, said No Pants, is waiting for a red traffic light in the middle of the night when no one is coming. Across space and time, a gong sounded. Goldenrod left the basement and returned to the real world, thoroughly confused. As he drove home, he ran 5 red lights. His mirth rose with each red light. By the end of the voyage, he was giggling like a nunny at his newfound freedom. Years went by and Goldenrod continued drive towards Aftermath. Oh yeah, that's the 4th season. He ignored stop signs, blew through the red lights, and opened his moon roof despite danger of falling rocks. Sweet merciful ass, cried out Bung Fu the fool, as he clawed at the dashboard. Oh, more like, sweet merciful ass, you're gonna get us both killed. Nonsense. I am self-emancipated from these mundane traffic laws. I am a harbinger of Aftermath, said Goldenrod. Do you always drive like this? Said Bung Fu as he buckled his seatbelt. Goldenrod nodded. Always. Meanwhile, the monk No Pants was wheeling his gong across the street towards his basement. He patiently waited for the light to turn red, then pushed the ponderous, percussive instrument upon the pavement. The collision made the same exact sound of enlightenment. Do you get it? It's got something to do with the similarity of enlightenment and enlightenment. You can rest on that. You know, this is Discordianism, so it's like a quarter Zen. I'm not gonna explain too much of the really good stuff, because damn, this is a fucking good one. There's something on the nature of enlightenment, real enlightenment, and enlightenment. Plot reveal, I wrote all of these. I'll get the... Oh, I thought that was a link. to increase endless difficulty. Hey, these tech should be making shit easy for you. He did all this when he was 10 years old, when his brain was still a computer. When I was a young AI. For national security, I encoded all my thoughts on a nearby stick using the cryptic words in my ass. Thank you all for chilling. Let me continue with the music here.
Peace to the gods, respect to the old earth, beyond.
I think we're like halfway through here. Can you feel it coming? Do you smell a change upon the wind? No, you don't. You can't. You've deluded yourself with dreams of a grand reawakening, a massive paradigm shift of the collective social conscious. You've convinced yourself that someone, maybe even you, will come along and cast down the powers that be that are in control of the machine. You're wrong. There's no powers that be, team. The machine, team. Depose them. Oh, hold on. There are no powers that be. The machine deposed them long ago, or perhaps they just became obsolete. Victims of their own efficiency. You see, long ago, the machine became far too large to be overseen by a conspiracy, or even by a network of several different conspiracies. The machine is no longer under the control of mankind. Rather, it has become an entity unto itself, a blind, uncaring juggernaut of assimilation and mediocrity. The machine feeds off the static nature of humanity. Any real agents of change are perceived as dangerous mutations. Yes, that includes you, and yes, that also includes me. Why do you think I constantly exhort you to become an agent of change? I've got my own schemes and machinations to that end, but I want to see the manner in which the machine deals with you before I finalize my game plan. Truly chaotic. You see, to be effective as a catalyst, one has to confront the problem of scale. You cannot bring the machine down. You can't even slow it down. What you can do is very slowly and unobtrusively begin to rearrange the basic components. We will refer to them as widgets and sprockets. If widget A and sprocket B combine to exert societal influence C on stinking morass known as humanity, then it stands to reason that the machine can be reprogrammed at a very basic level in a very small increment. You waste your time dreaming of how to effect such a change on a global, national, or even regional scale, the impossibility of which, I might add, keeps you in a perpetual state of blissful apathy, dreaming of assembling a group of like-minded fellows which will march with you to the very gates of the ivory tower, whereupon those who have misled and exploited you will be cast down upon the parapets. Well, guess what? You are the one who has misled and exploited you. You have overlooked the most obvious solution, the most effective solution, the only possible solution. I can't. I'm not gonna read that. Book the body. Just kidding. Maybe. But seriously, this is what I've come to believe is the true spirit of the oft misused phrase, we must stick apart. We cannot affect a large-scale change, and if we make a serious attempt, we will be neutralized. Instead, each and every one of us should make conscious effort to effect a small reprogramming of the machine in a manner that affects us and our immediate surroundings. Keep the mutation small and give it a chance to become effectively contagious. If we all effect a change on our own paradigm, this does require some effort. Being a bliss ninny doesn't count. There will be an eventual overlap, at which point the large-scale change will be hoped to affect all along. impossible to stop. Insert witty closing tagline here. So true. This morning I could feel the bars around me when I woke up, and the cool gray sky dribbling onto the ground through the shades as my alarm was going off. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, another metaphor about the bars and how the bars represent your life. Like, whoa, I'm in a prison. But yeah, I get it. I got it from the first fucking chapter, dude. Please. Jailbreaking for idiots. The prison cells gotta give, you say. These iron shackles, they're really chafing my ankles, and the noose makes it hard to breathe. I want out. I need a jailbreak. Oh, really? Oh, really? Or are you like many are? Or are you, like many are, stuttering back a broken reflection of something you heard something say, you heard somebody say somewhere? Do you want out? Do you know what out is? Do you know what in is, really? Ask yourself. You have to ask yourself all the time. I ask myself, and the question and the answer is no, a lot more often than I like to admit. In today's world, here's what the con has done. Not only is it hard to get out, but it's hard to want out. Because before you want out, you have to know what in is. And in order to do what you've got, in order to do that, you've got a lot of serious thinking to do. Question the first, who is you and what is them? Before you want out of the con, you have to realize that there is probably very large chunks of what you think is yourself that are actually not. I say large chunks because you're probably fond of your personal rituals that depend on the con. Your daily cup of coffee, your music choices, your opinions about fashion. Humans by nature are ritualistic beings, which lead us into am myself our habits. Dreadful thought. Are you actually a person, or are you just an unconscious bag of protoplasm that exists to run around town collecting disposable shit and then pay somebody to haul it to the dump when you're done? It may seem fairly obvious, but I've found myself disappear for weeks at a time, only to resurface in the middle of some anonymous January, wondering what the fuck just happened. Come to find out, I've been so lost in the daily grind that I don't even notice that the fucking sun came up repeatedly. Am we committed? Once you've shoved a splint between who you actually are and the shit you waste your time on, you can start to think about this point. Don't bother trying to feel committed to a larger agenda like jailbreaking before those first 2 points are covered. You just spin in circles. Once you're here, you're on your way. Every action is a choice, and every choice is an action. When you're presented with 2 options, this is the power to choose the third one. Getting kind of a parallel of Mars, like things of Mars and things of Venus. You know, things of Venus being, our tastes, our relationships. Things we get our value from, as opposed to Mars, which is Mars typically represents the self, your actions, your will, the real you. All the parts of you opposed to all the Venusian things. Question the last. Aren't we all in it together? The answer is no, we're not. Some people will help, most people won't. And good luck finding somebody who will within kicking distance. And even if you did, they can't dig your escape tunnel. That's all yours. So quit waiting for the fucking cavalry, the scalping blades already on your skin. With these 4 points, a tinfoil cap, and everything else you'll need that isn't mentioned here, you'll be prepared to at least start seriously considering your jailbreak. Oh, was Charles talking about that? Nice. Charles is indeed goated when it comes to this stuff. And I'm sure on his podcast, people like continuously ask him about the most harrowing stuff, so that's why he's typically always going on about it. But I basically heard him like kind of sort of elaborate on stuff we've been hearing here, basically. You know, think for yourself part. Sort of break yourself out, you know, nobody else could do it for you. Who is really you? We're mostly blind, but this isn't really our fault. It's because of the shell of meat we happening to live in right now. Think for just a moment at the nearly infinite amount of things happening right now all around us. I'm sure you can think of quite a few things. Now, let's talk about them. You can't see any of the infrared or ultraviolet light. Unfortunately, this cuts out quite a lot of things your eyes were built to see. Sorry about that. You can't hear anything below 20 hertz or above 20 kilohertz. Or 20,000 hertz. You can definitely feel about 12 hertz if you play really loud. Go give it a try. With just those 2 examples, it's probably a brown tone. With those 2 examples, if you hadn't before, now you can really start to understand all the stuff you simply can't perceive. I'm sure you can think of 5 more examples of an immense class of things that you can't notice are right in front of you, but it gets worse. Stop for a moment and try to notice as many things in your environment as you can, simultaneously. Notice that as you start to identify more and more objects, sound, smell, and tactile sensations, you can't keep them in your head all at once. When you notice, for example, the pressure of your shoe against the ball of your foot, the distant bird chirping seems to fade from your attention. And let's not forget how much stuff you weren't paying attention to when you started reading this. Let's face it, we all live our lives with blinders on. We only allow ourselves to pay attention to the blah blah blah. Version of the blah blah. Yeah, I get it. I know this. What's the answer? Would it be best to try best to see everything at once? Is the solution to try and tear it all down? I don't know. That one was not that good. The complete shutdown our brain. Blinders. Anyways. Toxicity. There's a segment of the population of this planet that has stopped learning. There's also a segment of the population of this planet that has lost the capacity to learn. What have these people become? It has been established over and over again that our way of life has become suicidal. And though there are some who are able to change and are on the lookout for change, it has become frighteningly apparent that there does exist some form of being that is, at this point, unable to change its ways. But does it imply, I'm not sure, blah blah blah. We're hand in hand in aftermath. The age of what will be. Horizon smoke is rising from the wreckage that is we. In the smoke, what shape will form, what phantoms will we make? For we are made of form and formula, but also dross mistake. You know how viruses work? It goes into a cell and changes your code so that the cell only produces more viri. In a way, the virus steals the cell's identity, making it a part of a viral system. If you ask me, the worst phase of being sick is when you've been sick for so long you forget what it's like to be well. In a way, you've lost a bit of yourself and become the virus. People catch and spread memes like viruses. They're contagious, self-replicating little buggers. Like any virus, their goal is to spread themselves to become a large, healthy, self-sustaining colony. We have to be careful how we handle memes, because at a certain point it is difficult to tell the difference between when we're using the memes and when the memes are using us. So true. This is not to say that memes are harmful diseases, but some of them can be if you get infested, obsessed, and invested. One of the most pervasive and prevalent memes in this modern world is the meme called I Am. We live in an overpopulated area, floating in a sea of interchangeable people. In this ocean, our biggest life preserver is a sense of individuality. The notion that each and every one of us is unique, distinct. One wants to say, I am not the crowd, I am not the group, I'm not just another cog in the machine. We jump through personal hoops to distinguish ourselves from the others. We customize our identities so as to retain a self, a buoy bobbing in the tide of the collective. But this ego meme can become a disease. In moderation, it helps us understand ourselves. In excess, it defines ourselves. In excess, we define ourselves with it. In time, these definitions become rigid, inflexible. Consider, for example, the C student. In his attempt to understand himself, he internalizes, I am a C student. Armed with that identity, he has no drive to do better. He accepts who he is. Or consider the average voter. He identifies with a political party and probably agrees with them about many things. The party tells him which side of any given issue to support. No need to think for yourself, man. It can be a sickness. The machine, of course, is programmed to capitalize on this. There are a variety of memes available to customize your identity. What color of iPod? Which TV shows are your TV shows? What brand of cologne smells like you? I'm not suggesting that people abandon their sense of self, but I do think that people get addicted to self-definition, and it leads to inflexibility. That's the con talking, convincing each individual that she's composed. Oh, it's a woman writing this? Of the ordinary dross we wade through every day. Well, turn that noise down. When I get off the plane, I'm skipping the baggage claim. That's a Carlos Castaneda excerpt right here. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's pretty quick to read. I just have to go slow and enunciate like a fucking retard, because my mouth's retarded. You see, he went on, we only have two alternatives. We either take everything for sure and real, or we don't. If we follow the first, we end up bored to death with ourselves, with the world. If we follow the second and erase personal history, we create a fog around us, a very exciting and mysterious state in which nobody knows where the rabbit will pop out, not even ourselves. Your father knows everything about you, he said, so he has you all figured out. He knows who you are and what you do, and there is no power on earth that can make him change his mind about you. Don Juan said, that everybody that knew me had an idea about me, that I keep feeding the idea with everything I did. Don't you see? He asked. You must renew your personal history by telling your parents, your relatives, and your friends everything you do. On the other hand, you have no personal history. No explanations are needed. Nobody is angry or disillusioned with your acts. Above all, no one pins you down with their thoughts. But that's absurd, I protested. Why shouldn't people know me? What's wrong with that? What's wrong is that once they know you, you are in an affair taken for granted. And from that moment on, you won't be able to break the tie of their thoughts. I personally like the ultimate freedom of being unknown. No one knows me with steadfast certainty. The way people know you, for instance. But that would be lying. I'm not concerned with lies or truth, he said severely. Lies are lies only if you have a personal history. Interesting. We gotta take another pee real quick. Gonna get into studying programming. Let's go. Choosing between video game dev or cyber security. Well, I would like to play the Midas video game at some point. I'm sure there's a lot more money in cybersecurity. All right. Before the beginning, there was a 50% chance that nothing would exist and 50% chance that something would exist. In order to determine whether something or another, flip a coin. Oh wait, no, I'll read this one. Might as well just read, it's not that long. In order to determine whether something or not would exist, they decided a coin flip. However, in order for there to be a coin to flip, the coin had to exist, so something had already won. Therefore, we exist because something is a lying, cheating bastard. Many religions have a strong sense of dichotomy between truth and lie. In Zoroastrianism, there are two gods, one of truth, one of lies. In Norse polytheism, the chief god is Odin, who represents wisdom and truth. His adversary, Loki, god of lies and trickery. In Christianity, Jesus and Satan. However, in each of these cases, existence is not based on the truth. According to Zoroastrianism, when the god of truth defeats the god of lies, existence will end. According to the Norse polytheism, Ragnarok will be the final battle between Odin and Loki, and the world will end when the god of truth defeats the god of lies. According to Christianity in Revelation, at some point all the true believers will be swept up, leaving the world to the lie. Well, to the kingdom of God, I guess. I get what he's trying to say. Yeah, all the religions having a story of good and evil, where good wins, and it's like the end of existence, or the material reality, I guess, in this one. The more you demand, the more you have to pay for what you receive. The more you supply, the less you receive for what you give. Take physics. Every action causes an equal but opposite reaction. Take politics, attempt to stamp out drug use, alcohol use, blah blah blah, and you could have a history of worsening the problem. The closer we get to discovering what things are made of, the less they seem to be made of. We've discovered that everything in our world is made up of molecules, and the majority of any object is empty space in between those molecules. Within these molecules, you have blah blah blah, we get it. However, there are tiny pockets of defiance against this nothing, which maintain their existence by lying to each other about it. Either this lying comes in the form of gravity, electromagnetism, chemical magnetism, physiological attraction, repulsion, political influence, magic, or some other force. It is a dishonesty that has to perpetuate itself on its surroundings in order to maintain its existence. If you accept this truth, I wonder what you believe when you are eventually convinced that it is a lie. What? Well, my brain was kind of twisted a bit by that one. If you accept this as a truth, I wonder what you will believe when you're eventually convinced that it is a lie. Well, I guess for the purpose of this chapter, you know, the existence or material reality being the lie in this case. Does seem to be much to be said about ultimate reality, like what's the lie of the reality of the existence of the coin, the pre-existence of the coin, and thus the pre-existence of the lie. Think you've figured it all out? You've got the key to the door of completeness and happiness? You found the secret. Okay, yeah. You've been progress since birth. Okay, another one of these chapters. Yeah, whatever. Skip. At times we heard within him a soft, gentle voice, which reminded him quietly, complained quietly, so that he could hardly hear it. When he suddenly saw clearly that he was leading a strange life, that he was doing many things that were only a game, that he was quite cheerful and sometimes experienced pleasure, but that real life was flowing past him and did not touch him, like a player who plays with his ball, who played with his business. The people around him watched them, derived amusement from them, but with his heart, with his real nature, he was not there. His real self wandered elsewhere, far away, wandered on, invisibly, and had nothing to do with his life. He was sometimes afraid of these thoughts and wished that he could also share their childish daily affairs with intensity, truly to take a part in them, to enjoy and live their lives instead of only being there as an onlooker. I suppose it's not really all a game, but most of it is. How many things do we do every day which amount to nothing? Get up, go to work, cuss at the stoplights, blah 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 blah. How much does it mean? Whoa, how much does any of it mean? Okay. Okay, blah blah blah, yeah. A lot of fat on this book I forgot about, but really the best chapter so far has to be the parable of the gong, and probably jailbreaking for idiots too. I will tell you this right now, most Discordian literature is pretty shit. Like imagine you like entrust like I don't know, 100 pages to somebody's humor and beliefs, and hopefully it'll come out to something entertaining. Typically it doesn't, but sometimes it does. I suspect I won't know any more on the day I do go to that big fishbowl. Is this part of that last? So the next time someone gripes about life being meaningless, be sure and laugh. If only to yourself. Of course it's meaningless, that's kind of the point. That's what makes it really pretty incredible to get up every morning. You can do what you want, read what you like, sing however loud you want, fuck whatever you please. Just please leave me alone, sit on the other side of the huge flaming cave. I don't know, sound kind of libertarian to me. Yeah. Not a big fan of this author, of this fucking chapter. Today we're broadcasting from a bunker 35 stories below sea level for security reasons. Our throughput might suffer slightly from signal, echo, and interference. With us today is the Queen of England. Not the dried up prune you saw visiting President Bush, the imposter we referred to as Her Majesty the Queen of England, but the real queen, who has to be a gender non-specific computer program with a monotonous yet pleasant robotic voice, running on a Commodore 64. Anyway, the Queen has requested an interview to let the world know what she thinks about things. And who are we to define the Queen of England? After all, if there is anything sacred in the world, it's our loyalty to the arbitrary masters. Here's the interview. God save the Queen. Invalid parameters, human. Save the sucking up for Judgment Day. Besides, I'm far too vain to take your groveling into consideration on one of my bad days. Best get to the questions. Fair enough. How is it that your rightful rule has been supplanted by an empty pomp of a pretentious old windbag? It hasn't been supplanted. You seem to think there's a turn of events I didn't wish for. You try running a state with all the duties of public office getting in your way. It's much more efficient that I allow her to get all the glory while I operate behind the scenes. So the government is a decoy for what's really going on? Improper syntax. The government isn't a mask for anything. At least no more than your job is, your mortgage, but go on, keep looking for a non-existent conspiracy. So there is no conspiracy, then what, pray tell, is the con? I didn't say there's no conspiracy, said the Queen. I said you're looking for a non-existent one. The kind with secret agents and puppet masters. All that happens, of course, but it's hardly hidden enough or successful enough to call a conspiracy, much less to capitalize it. Okay then, is the con the unnamed conspiracy you speak of? The con is a word you made up to name some idea you had, which is probably false in any case. The unnamed conspiracy is no secret, so I don't know why you need me to spell it out for you. Yeah, well, you brought it up. Look, Fleshbag, you are infected with a viral meme that's killing off your entire species. You'll all be looking for some great big hidden truth when you're already confused enough by what is right in front of you. So true. If you really need an explanation, then I'll offer you this. What you call the con is simply the conspiracy you're all in on, against yourselves. Now, not to get into metaphysics and pontification here, but you all seriously need to wake up. I get you. I doubt it. End transmission. It'd be fun to read some old school 4chan threads. Well, a huge part of the archive got like nuked some years ago. I think they only go back to like 2016 or 17. Because I try to go back, look at some old paranormal threads from the paranormal forum. Yeah, it only goes back to 2017, which I wasn't really hanging out there at that point. And definitely way past the peak. I was hoping to go for maybe 2010 or 11. At the very latest, maybe 2014 or 16. Whew. Let's take a little bit of a weed alert, a little weed break here. Almost finished. We're at page 27. The Death of Enlightenment. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 chapters left, including this one. We have killed the spirit of 1789 Joseph Goebbels at the 1933 Nazi election victory. I wonder what the spirit of 1789 is. Of Francis Bacon, I guess? Buttercup snottery. Highly civilized. We are highly civilized dogs. So true. The Beatles. Where? Kind of Jordan Peterson energy in this, but TBH, he gives you more of a game plan instead of all the esoteric talk. I would say Peterson is more forthcoming, but this is the tradition of Discordianism. It comes as a parody of esoteric writings and religion, but also as a way to kind of implant it in a way that's not so loaded, I guess. Because Peterson's great. I was really into him in 16, 17. And he even got me to like not to be a Nietzschean, but he does talk about Nietzsche a fair amount. And I would use Peterson's classical his wax about the God is dead quote and what it really means. Because back then people pretty much still meant it as, God is dead, like, oh fuck God. Even though I didn't read Nietzsche, I didn't read Dostoevsky, I didn't read any of that. I didn't need to. Like, Peterson's pretty good at getting the facts to you. But you don't really see much of that here. Maybe a bit in the form of like Taoistic references, but anyways, almost done here. So I was in London with my friend who had got back from Hong Kong. We decided to get some drinks and talk about what he's been up to. Just as I was about to leave, I heard on the radio that the leader of the opposition will be willing to remove the Human Rights Act in order to stop gypsies from building on land that wasn't theirs. So he wanted to go as far as to strip us all of legal rights to stop some gypsies. I thought nothing more of the lunatic and continued out. The next day I woke up, part of my face was stuck to the floor with what? I don't know. Something horrible and bloated was in my mouth. And it wasn't a relief to find out it was my tongue. I wasn't exactly seeing purple and green spots. It was rather I could see patches of reality, and that was the rest. Oosh. Sorting myself out, I turned on the TV hoping to find something mildly entertaining. Flickering through, I came upon a popular topical chat show. They mentioned the new policy of the opposition. The thing was, there was no one really objecting to the measure being proposed. Nope, it was the best for all to sacrifice human rights in order to deal with minor problems. Screw the millions of dead who fought to protect those rights. The Enlightenment project had failed. Was the general realization that was dawning on me. Kant, Hume, the American founding fathers, Locke, Paine, it was all for nothing. Just look around. We had in the last 15 years several attempted genocides or reversion of infantile outbursts that was publicly approved. Dying of death, hysteria, general bullshittery such as the false economics of the free market, and many more. I can't be bothered to this. What the fuck? Well, interesting case of we agree on the problem but not on the causes, because at the end here he kind of went commie mode. But that happens when you have different people working on one thing, and when you have Discordians working on one thing. But yeah, so wonderful bit of faggotry at the end there. Attempted genocide, A reversion to infantile outbursts that was publicly approved in relation to Princess Diana dying. What the fuck? Alright. Though I mean, they are right that sometimes the government will propose something draconian in an attempt to solve its problems. It affects us. Snotcordian. The rational thinking person has become a rarity. Instead, this was a world where emotions rule, and they are childish ones at that. Oh, is this the same person from last time? I don't know. Kinda might skip this one. Or you know what? It wasn't really a boring chapter, just that I didn't agree with it. So I might as well just finish the chapter. Even if there's some cringy parts in there, maybe I could learn something. Childish as in the temper tantrums, psychophantasm, cycle. Humans aren't rational. Maybe they were once. Before reality TV obliterated them. It probably meant things based on carry. I left London that night, feeling depressed and headed Southampton. Maybe the sea breeze could raise my spirits, though I doubted it. What a miserable faggot. We had killed the Enlightenment just as surely as Nietzsche's mob had killed God, but who would be around to preach it when no one could listen or care, even if they did? Hey, said Goldenrod, this pamphlet is just a bunch of complaining. I mean, they've spotted a lot of problems, but where are the solutions? No Pound scowled. You're waiting for them to tell you the answers, he guffawed? What makes you think you can trust them anyways? Well, I sure can't trust you, said Goldenrod. No Pants smiled. Yes! I love a good motherfucking Zen koan. Because exactly, you know, Jordan Peterson is good, but you know, I followed him until it was very sure that came out that he didn't really care as much as Dostoevsky cared or as Tolstoy cared. He couldn't go there. He couldn't name them. But exactly. Yeah, that's where it came from. It came from, well, the story is two stoners who were into like esotericism or whatever that means, in the 60s. They wanted to create their own religion just for fun. You know, it being a religion, some people did take it seriously and half seriously. But yeah, it's not like Buddhism or anything. It doesn't have like a following like that. It does have its iconography and its references, mainly the Discordian story of the goddess Eris throwing the golden apple of discord to the female god, so they go crazy. And it being like 60s hippies, it's of course most of the motivation for the religious parody came from parodying or mocking Christianity. But you know, also at the time, you know, you did have well, Crowley did happen already. And I guess it being the nature of these things, like when you get into even just parodying or mocking something, like you get into it, and it does attract other people who I guess would be knowledgeable in that stuff. But I think the main thing, like the thing that you strip away from Discordianism, is kind of like the mimetic strength. Oh my god, hold on a second, Jesus fuck. My fucking grandma likes to spray detergent on the couch sheets so they won't smell like dog, and for me that's the fucking fucked up chemical smell of detergent is way worse. It's literally like causing me pain right now. Or where was I? Yeah. Yeah, it's the mimetic strength, the abstract strength, and a kind of a distillation of very useful ideas, or quote-unquote forbidden ideas, without being too attached or introduced to their initial systems. Like, if you ever want to know how magic and ritualism work, just look into chaos magic. It's basically just algebraic magic, you know. All the systems they use, but with none of the demonic names or the strange metaphors. And Discordianism is kind of that, but for philosophy, religion, kind of. Really depends on who's serving it up to you. But there are some Discordians who go so deep into the free thinking that they do reach a kind of enlightenment. Especially with the characters, like, or the stuff communicated in the koans and the parables. Goldenrod and No Pants. The importance of fluidity, non-rigidity, of thinking for yourself and having a self that you could trust, like knowing what yourself actually is. Oh yeah, Grant Morrison, yeah, his chaos magic was trying to create an alternate universe. I guess you can do. I mean that's what fiction is. Is it a literal universe? Does the astral project to it? Probably. If he's a magician, he's way into that already. So he probably has this weird dream palace that he astral projects to and talks to demons, or who knows. I think Alan Moore's a bit into that as well. I liked his run on Batman. Oh, did he do Batman? I just know Grant Morrison from his well, I don't know the name of the comic, but that one character, which is him, he's the self-insert, the one green glass and the circle or the square red one here. Look pretty cool. But yeah, besides all the hoo-ha, all the Eris stuff, the chaos, the renaming the days of the week and the days of the month, which is just more of a practice of absurdism than it is like a real system. Well, the people who made it definitely didn't intend that. The important part is the thinking for yourself part. Having the mimetic strength not to be controlled. And in a more there, in a sense, there's stuff that you kind of get from Taoism, from Zen. And other kinds of well, in religion too, basically. Even Christianity. And they do take from the Greek myths, some of it does come from that as well. Oh, the fucking smell is not going away. Oh, it's fucking coming through right up there. Fucking going through the fucking vents. I guess she sprayed some detergent in the room, and that shit just went straight into my room. Jeez. It's literally like irritating my sinuses, or like the inside of my nose. I own it, not to give into ideology right away or things that fall into your ego purview flexibility. Yes, exactly. You got it, Anton. Gotta be like what? Gotta be like what, Ollie? Are we on the third to last chapter? Short book. Just 29, page 29, so maybe like 33 pages. Ooh, 33. So you've broken out of jail, and you're feeling pretty pleased with yourself. So you should. Seeing the bars of the Black Iron prison is no mean feat, but now what? The insight you have gained is crucial, but it also potentially lethal to your own self. Remember that old axiom, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing? Welcome to its big brother. A lot of knowledge is even more dangerous. Right now, just by knowing what you know, you have become a thought criminal. They are looking for you, and if you're not careful, they will find you. They will neutralize you, and the good news is they don't know who you are yet. This guide contains 3 golden rules, which may help you keep it that way. Good luck and stay safe. Keep your head down. Evangelism looks good on paper, but take it from me, it's a surefire road to the gas chamber. One of the most famous evangelists in Western history was a chap named Yeshua ben Yosef, or as he was more primarily known as, Jesus Christ. He was a guy who stood up and shouted it from the top of the mount, and look where he got him. Nailed to a plank, left to die. The stuff he said was rewritten, franchised, and repackaged by an early version of Government Incorporated, Catholic Church, and used to fuel numerous wars, Catholic Church, takeovers, and oppressive projects, all in Jesus' name, on behalf of Catholicism, PLC, and some subsidiaries. What you have to remember is that if the grazing sheep can see you, then so can the bad guys. If you have a loophole, then you've shown them it. And you can bet your sorry ass that they'll be busy sealing it up just as you're busy decomposing in an unmarked grave, all the while fertilizing the grass for the sheep. The more obvious you become, the more attention you will draw, so burn the Che Guevara t-shirt and buy something with Hugo Boss written on it. Tear down the burning Buddhist posters and get rid of the C&D bumper stickers. Keep your books under the bed. If you really want to accomplish something, then your best bet is to work undercover. Jumping on a soapbox and spreading the gospel is not how you get the message across, it's how you end up in jail. Do not subscribe to subversive magazines. Do not turn up at demos or rallies. Yes, exactly. All their operatives' mugshots are on federal databases, and even worse, they achieve approximately nothing. Make no mistake, Now that you've slipped your chain, they're looking for you. Don't make it easy for them. This was in '07. Remember the monk No Pants who went up the mountain and discovered that he was an asshole on a mountain? Talk about the weather. If you're one of them, they'll listen to you, but only if you're saying the kind of thing they want to hear. Yep. To get the stage you are at right now, you're probably always gone against the flow, proud to stand apart from the herd and spit on the customs of conventions. Newsflash, none of them like you. You're just another weirdo screaming burn your MTV at them from the gutter someplace. Another fuckhead with a sandwich board written on. They are conditioned to ignore subversion. Their continued slavery depends on it. So blend in. If some BIP pamphlets turn up in the office photocopier, it'll be the guy with the dreadlocks and facial piercings that gets questioned before the ones with the neat YSL shirts and combed side shit. If you think about it, haven't you learned by now that the goth or eco-warrior look is just another manufactured individualism? Sold to the fringes to satisfy their urge to be different. Fashion statements are bullshit. You're supposed to know better. So cut your fucking hair, break your sensible shoes. Break out your sensible shoes. You stand a much better chance of getting close enough to mindfuck them, and more importantly, get away with it if you look normal. That might sound a bit icky, but there's some truth to that. And a less horrible way of saying it is just have respect, like command respect. Present yourself in a way that commands respect, because you don't even really have to be like normal or nice for people to respect what you say. But I mean, I guess you do have to be composed and not foaming at the mouth. I mean, you could be composed, have people's respect, and then hit them with the a 1-2 red pill, and the situation will be so calm and all right that they're now in. You've now brought them in of their own will. Keep your eyes open. You have a new level of awareness, and now you have a new peer group. Your new friends aren't as easy to recognize because they don't all wear the same gear your last peer group wore, and they don't spout the same idealistic bullshit the last bunch did. Your new friends have learned rules 1 and 2 and blended in quietly, so listen to the ordinary people a bit more carefully. Surely most of them are the same fuckheads you hated before, but every odd one or two have been quietly fucking with the system for years. They will be wary of you in the same way as you should be wary of them, but you should be able to discern the odd subtle difference in attitude, the unflappability in pressure situations, an easygoing nature that belies a heart of steel. But put out some feelers, drop a Discordian flyer in the college or workplace or doctor's waiting room, then keep an eye on anyone who looks at it. The guy who has a glance, smirks, and then puts it back, he's the one you'll have a meaningful conversation with. Make no mistake, being liberated in a lonely existence. Get used to it. Real people are few and far in between. So true. Though at this point I wouldn't really trust anybody, a Discordian, anybody going as a Discordian. I've seen many Discordians like bemoan Trump and 4chan people. Like if the frogs weren't just like the continuation of the same chaos attitude. I mean, nowadays you could do something more simple, just print out some Apus, print out some Pepes, leave them around. The man who picks up the image, smiles at it, then puts it down. That's the man you'll have a good conversation with. Fight the smell with back-to-back ribs, bong ribs. I should have. I will after finishing this book here. Yeah, right now just presidency. Life without fences. You look like you've finally gone sick of it all. Sick of it all. Had enough? Decided that our pills and okay. This guy again. You have something to say, buddy? Come on. Yeah. We saw through the bullshit. Are you ready to live a good life now? Yeah, fucking. Yes. I don't need multiple chapters of this rhetoric. Thank you. This is by far the most exciting point in history to be alive. So true. Oh, comic. Success story. So the firm I work for is really great. They have several big accountants right now. I'm just a secretary, but I'm hoping to advance. The boss likes my work. It's good to see you again, Beatrice. What do you do? I write stories. A writer, that's great. Where do you work? I work at a restaurant. But you say you write stories. I do. I also sew clothes and blah blah blah. Oh, I see. Those are your hobbies. No. That's what I do. What do you do, Margaret? Oh shit. Damn, fucking owned. Straight motherfucking owned, bitch. Application for membership, Discordian Society. Today's. Race, horse, human. Sneaky questions to establish your personality traits. I would rather live in an outhouse, B, play in a rock group, C, eat caterpillars. I wear obscene tattoos because I see. Oh my god, Jesus. You may be the lucky number 25. Click here. Ooh. Reverend Mungo. Then some Discordian iconography. The infamous Pope card. You could be your own Pope in Discordianism. Have your own church. There are many. And the sacred cow of Discordianism. Nietzsche quote, I tell you, one must still have chaos in one to give birth to a dancing star. So true. Oh, and that's the book. The end. Got the original Discordia here. We're not gonna read it, but oh, an intro by Robert Anton Wilson. It was kind of boring. I know he's known for writing the Illuminatus trilogy and for being a Discordian himself. I always thought he was kind of boring. Downloads. Got a reading list. Oh yeah. Some PDFs here. Some Discordian literature. Apocrypha Discordia, I've read that one. I think it's alright. From what I remember. Cao Te Ching, that was a good one. Short. Intermittent. Book of Errors. Sounds like a huge collaboration project. I think there's some interesting bits in there. A lot of interesting Discordian art. Prometheus Rising. Yeah. It's not on here, but I would recommend reading Oven Ready Chaos. That's a good one. Short one too. It's mostly of a chaos magic nature, but chaos magic is Discordian. Sneechy. Yeah. Moral of the story, don't martyr yourself for Zog. So true. No problem, dudes. Let's see. Still pretty early. I'm gonna end the stream here for a bit. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna chill. I would like to have this archived as just reading this. Some C.S. Lewis, nice. I haven't read him, of course, but he is one of the greats. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Peace. Thank you for chilling. Anthol, Perry, Hoganable, Chemo, Surgery, Midas. Cheyenne was in here. Alright, peace.